Hello and welcome to Cooking Lessons for Dad. My name is Karen Breyer and today we are going to make delicious Mexican veggie pizzas. This is one of my favorite recipes and I have made it so many times. This is a great recipe if you are needing food for a lot of people, and also you can make it just for 1 or 2 people. So the ingredients in this recipe are frozen corn, canned diced tomatoes with green chilies, fat-free refried beans, garlic powder, cumin, shredded cheese, and tostada shells. So the first thing that you want to do is preheat the oven to 425 degrees, which I did. Next, you're going to line a baking sheet with foil. So you line a small one for the toaster oven or a larger one for the regular oven, and this is what I usually use in the regular oven. Oftentimes I make 2 trays, but today I'm just going to use the toaster oven, so we'll just use this one. So the next thing you need to do is rinse and drain your frozen corn. I have 1.5 cups of frozen corn, and you could also thaw it. If there's no ice, you don't need to rinse or drain it. I already did rinse and drain it, so it's ready to go. We just set that aside. Next, you're gonna get your tomatoes, and we're gonna put them in the bowl. I have 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. You're gonna take a fork and you're going to crush any large pieces. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add a 16 ounce can of fat-free refried beans. Okay. Then we have 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and I'll just use a heaping half. Also 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. I'm just going to use a heaping half again. You just adjust the seasonings to how you like them. So now we're going to go ahead and mix this all up. You want to mix everything really well. I'm just mixing it with a fork. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add the corn. 1.5 cups of frozen corn. Okay, so we're going to grab our baking sheet and see if we can put 2 on here. We can, so we'll go ahead and make 2. So now I'm going to go ahead and use a spoon. Put about 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of beans for each tostada, and really it depends how much you like or how large the tostadas are. You want it almost to the edge. Okay, now we're going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of shredded cheese for each tostada. You can choose whatever kind you like. This is Colby Jack. Mexican blend would be really good. You could just use Colby or whatever you choose. You could also use a vegan cheese. If you use a vegan cheese, you need to remember that it doesn't really bubble and brown that much. So put how much you like. One reason for the foil is in case the cheese goes over the edge, it's easier cleanup. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put them in the toaster oven, cook them at 425 degrees for about 10 minutes or until the cheese browns and bubbles, and probably start checking in about 8 minutes. So we'll come back and try it in a few minutes. Okay, so the tostadas are finished. I did have to set it a little bit longer to get them just how I like them. You can see they're bubbling and brown and they look amazing. They smell amazing. So, time to try one. You can put any toppings you want on here. Guacamole, salsa, sour cream, tomatoes. diced green onions, diced olives, avocados. I'm sure you can think of other things to put on here. I especially like some sliced tomatoes. And I have a wonderful recipe for tofu sour cream. You could check that out. It's really easy to make and healthy too. So we got some sour cream, salsa, guacamole, you could use avocados. I also have another really easy guacamole recipe if you want to check that out too. So here you have it. Easy, delicious. That was really fast. And by the way, the toaster oven, he preheats so much faster than the regular oven. But I usually make it for a large crowd, then I have leftovers for one or two, but since I just made a couple today, tomorrow I'm going to serve it for a larger group. We're having company, so now I know what I'm making. All right, so try it this week. Let me know how it turns out. Let me know what toppings you like to put on your Mexican veggie pizzas. Okay, now time to try it. Still pretty hot, but it's gonna be really good. It's so good. You notice it was really healthy too. If you put healthy toppings, it's healthy. It's so good. You might want to eat it with a fork too if it gets a little bit too messy. All right, have a good week. Bye.